Hey guys, and welcome back to myself. If you're new here, I have been posting videos once a week, but all of the videos that you've been seeing since the beginning of August have been pre-filmed because I had a baby. And while I did film 2 of my collection videos after having him, I filmed my eyeshadow palette collection, which will be coming up, and my lip collection video after having my son. But this is the first time I'm sitting down in front of the camera. And I just want to play. I have some new makeup. I thought I would chit chat, get ready, and show you a look. So if you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella fam. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so I do have some new and new to me products that I'm going to be trying today. The first is the new Patrick Ta foundation. This is the cream foundation and finishing powder duo. I got the shade Light 1. This is what it looks like here, so we're going to be trying that out today. I also got my hands on the Natasha Denona Dream palette, and I picked up the lip liner and lipstick, so I'm thinking I'm going to create one look on each eye. I do also have the Sigma powder. A girlfriend sent that over to me to try. And then this is new to me. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand in Fair Medium. And then also new to me is this highlighter by Pat McGrath. This is the one in, here it is, Lunar Allure. I'm not sure if that's new, but it's new to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in and we'll get started. Okay, you'll have to forgive me. I'm a little rusty. My son, by the time you see this, he's 8 weeks old. He'll be 8 weeks old in a couple days, so it's been a while since I filmed, but brows are already on. I thought I would show you what I used. I did use the Patrick Ta Major Brow Defining Pencil in the shade Blonde. Then for the tail end of my brows, I used my Urban Decay Brow Blade, the ink stain side, and this is in Brunette Betty. And I set it with my Patrick Ta lamination gel. I did also prime the way that I always prime with my Glow Recipe and Niacinamide Dewdrops and my Tatcha the Liquid Silk Canvas. So we are going to go ahead and start with the face. I'm going to start with this product here. I'm a little nervous because I'm not sure if this is going to be the right color for me. I know my friend Emily from Emily's Makeup Bag had the same color, the same shade, and she thought that it was a little light for her, and I think I might be like a shade or two darker than her. So we'll see. Also, I've heard that it's good to apply it with a brush, but I always apply everything with a sponge. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger. Ooh, this is very balmy and soft. And I just kind of want to place some right here. I want to apply it with a brush first. Although, like I said, I never use a brush. I'm going in with my BK Beauty 106 brush, and if you are ever shopping BK Beauty, I do have a code, KBella10, will save you 10%. But I'm typically a sponge girl. However, I know that this came with a brush, so I was like, let me just try it out. And I love BK Beauty brushes, so if I was gonna use a brush, this would be the way to go. But the reason why I used my finger instead of dipping the brush in is because then I don't wanna like dip it in, put it back on my face, and dip it back in. But I don't know, let me see here. It doesn't really look like much is happening on my face. I don't really see much happening here. So I'm just gonna go in with some more and see if I can build it up a little bit. I don't see a ton of coverage here. I don't know, it looks pretty light to me. I can see that like it's maybe evened out a little bit of redness on my cheeks, but overall, I mean, I think this is the right color. it just isn't really doing much. Let me see. What if I swirl my brush? Okay. Now I swirled my brush in here. I feel like I'm like really going ham with this foundation. And I don't normally wear a ton of foundation. But I just feel like it's not really doing much. Have you guys tried this? Did it do anything for you? When I'm looking in the viewfinder and in this mirror, it doesn't really look like it's doing much. Like I don't feel airbrushed, other than just kind of taking away a little bit of redness. I can still see my freckles and everything. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the face. Okay, so I actually have more foundation on my face than I normally ever put on, because I even just went with my sponge and like dipped it in there and applied another layer. I definitely feel like you get super light coverage. Like I don't feel like it looks like I have foundation on. The color match is fine. It looks fine. You can see my freckles through it. I do have a little blemish here. You can still see that. So I mean, overall, I feel like the color match was fine. I don't know. I don't really feel like it looks like I have anything on my skin. It's super light coverage. So that's okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and apply concealer. I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just gonna slap some on, and then we'll try the powder for underneath my eyes. Okay, so for concealer, I just went in with my Kosas concealer in 3W, but it's a little bit yellow and a little bit dark, so I did take my Milani Conceal and Perfect in 115, which is light nude, and I put that on top to lighten it up a bit. Before we set with powder, I do wanna go in with my Hollywood Contour Wand. This is in Fair Medium. And sometimes I use this e.l.f. stipple brush for cream products. Other times I use a sponge. So I think I'm gonna try one side on each. Now I have not tried this yet. Oh, okay, you can see it comes out pretty good there. I think I'm just gonna dab right here. Looks pretty dark, but I know people say that and then they blend it out and it looks nice. Put a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Really, I'm just trying to get it off the sponge as much as I can. Okay, so sometimes I go in with a brush, so let's try that. Just kind of stipple it out. This is the lightest shade. And I know people say that it blends in really nicely, so we'll see, because I'm super fair right now. I mean, I definitely feel like I need to go over it with my sponge and lighten it up a bit, but also I don't normally set my whole face with powder, but I'm gonna set a little bit with powder just because I wanna try out the Sigma powder. And then down here on the chin. Create a little jawline for myself. Something I've been lacking here lately. Then on this side, I'm gonna go in with my sponge, and I don't know that I like that as much. I feel like I maybe would prefer to do the brush first and then go over the brush with the sponge, which is typically what I do, but I feel like the sponge kind of blends it away, which is the reason why I don't love creams, is I feel like sometimes I'm just doing all of this extra work and then you can't even see it. I feel like it just blends away to nothing. I didn't squeeze any more out, but I'm just gonna like dab whatever was left there and kind of take it with the brush, because I feel like the sponge maybe soaks up a little bit too much and I want to even it out. Okay, now we're going to use the Patrick Ta powder, so I'm just going to dab underneath my eyes again because I don't want to like set any creases. And normally I prefer a loose powder and my sponge, but I'm gonna go in with my BK Beauty 108 brush, and I'm going to just tap. I am getting kick up. I can see it. I can see the kick up. And I'm gonna pat that underneath my eye. Let's see. Did that do anything? I mean, it definitely doesn't look as shiny. I feel like it's set fine, right? This side is set, this side isn't, so here it's a little bit shinier. Maybe it just took the shine away. I think I need to press a little bit more gently here, because I definitely went ham and had powder flying everywhere. Now, I don't normally powder my whole face, but I am gonna go in with this Sigma powder, and I put a little bit in the cap. And normally I would just do underneath my eyes, my smile lines, and my forehead. So I'm gonna kind of pat this out and put this on my forehead here, because I do have some wrinkles up there, so I just kind of like to set that area as well and smooth it out. I just want you guys to know, I applied blush and started applying highlighter, and I've been talking this entire time, and then I looked up and remembered that I stopped recording when I was finishing my bronzer. So that's great. I think I filmed the bronzer section. I went in with my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush bronzer to kind of set the cream bronzer down. And then I went in with my Pat McGrath blush in the shade Flirtatious. And now I'm going in with my Pat McGrath highlighter in Lunar Allure. And I was saying, oh, this is supposed to be a chit chat, get ready with me, and I haven't really been chit chatting with you, so I started chit chatting, and I was chit chatting to myself. So that's always nice. Okay, so I just sprayed my face with my MAC Fix Plus, so I'm gonna let that dry down. And like I said, this was supposed to be a chit chat, get ready with me, and I've just been chit chatting about makeup and not actually getting ready. So when we dip into the Dream Palette, I will hopefully be chit chatting with you, because if you are not new, I've been getting your messages. I've been seeing all of the wonderful things that you guys are saying, asking how the baby asking how the baby is doing, asking how I'm doing. And if you are new, then you may not know I had my second child, a little boy, on August 2nd. And it was a planned C-section. So the content that you've been seeing so far is all pre-filmed from when I was still pregnant. My son is almost 8 weeks old, and this is the first time I'm sitting down in front of the camera. I did film a couple collections videos. I'm gonna prime my eyes with my Fenty primer. I did film a couple collections videos where I didn't have any makeup on and you didn't even see me on camera after having my son while my mother-in-law was here. But you know, it's hard with a toddler and a baby trying to find time to film. And so I am a teacher. I go back to work on October 17th. So it's weird. This is the first year. This is my 13th year to teach. And it's my first year that it's October and I don't know my children. I don't know their names. Okay, so I normally set my eyeshadow primer, and there's nothing to set eyeshadow primer in here. So hold on one second. I just grabbed this Sigma Hazy eyeshadow palette, and I'm just gonna go into Dainty, this bone shade. And what I do, I get questions about this, is I just kind of plop it in the crease and a little bit up to the brow bone, because I do have hooded eyes, and I feel like every time I don't set the primer, I get creases there. So I don't want any creases. And I think we're gonna do two different looks today, because I really wanna play with this palette. So like I was saying, this is the first time, haven't met my kids, don't know them. I go back October 17th, and you know, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start filming. I haven't filmed, and I'm like running out of pre-filmed content. And I don't know, you know, having a 3-year-old and now an 8-week-old, like I don't know if I'm really gonna be wanting to film on the weekends, especially because I am breastfeeding. So I just, you know, I don't wanna take time away from my family. And so I'd like to do some more pre-filming and kind of get myself set up so that I have videos through Thanksgiving, and then I can film some more over Thanksgiving. So I'm trying to think of what I wanna do here. I know I wanna do one look on each eye just because I haven't been able to play with this palette yet, and it looks so pretty. So I think what I'm gonna do is go in with my BK201 and this shade right here in Unity. And I love the Natasha Denona formula. I'm gonna put this right here. So I do not plan on doing like a birthing video or anything like that. I didn't do that with my daughter, and I don't plan to do that with my son. It's just not, I mean, I feel like it's not exciting. It was a scheduled C-section. I mean, everything went as I kind of hoped it would. C-section is a hard recovery if you've never had one. Definitely a hard recovery if you have had one. Sorry, my battery died. But if you have had one, then you do know. It is quite the recovery. And I mean, having a 3-year-old at home and not being able to like pick her up or, you know, do as much with her as I had been able to do in the past, like that was a little challenging. But my mom lives with us, so she was here with my daughter. You know, when I came home, my daughter, she is, let me tell you, she is a smitten kitten with him. I think I'm gonna go down to Familia right here. She, and my BK202, she loves her brothers so much. I'll insert a picture of them, but she'll tell you, she'll say that is her baby. She loves him so much. She was actually reading with him today. It was funny because I have not had nails on since December. I normally keep nails on, but I went through some health issues and I like ripped them all off when I was stressed out one day. And then I just haven't gotten them back on. And so I was telling my mom the other day, I was like, you know, I think I want to get my nails put back on. And Brielle was like, no, you can't. And I was like, what? She goes, I don't want you to hurt Quentin. I was like, don't worry, babe. I'm not going to hurt your brother. But to her, that is her baby. She loves him so much. And you know, she just started a little preschool program. So for most of the day, I'm home with Quentin and she's at school. My husband is back at work. And my mom babysits the little kids next door. So she's with them in the morning and gets them off to their little school program that they go to Monday through Thursday. And then she's back here with me, helping me out. My mother-in-law was here for a month. So it's been going really well. My son is such a joy. Like, we're so happy to have him. He completes our family for sure. But he definitely wants to be held all the time, 24/7. I know that's a newborn thing. I remember that with my daughter, but I feel like it's even more so with him. Like right now, while I'm filming, my mom is holding him right now. Because if I were to have him in here and put him in like a bouncer or something, he would just start fussing. He just wants to be held all the time, which is fine. I'm gonna hold him all the time while I can, but it can get exhausting too. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my BK207 and this shade right here in Aspiration and put that in the outer corner. Yeah, so my son is very different than my daughter. I know, I'm sure everybody who has more than one child is like, I could have told you that. But my daughter, she slept through the night very early on. She was young. I wasn't even back to work yet. And she was on a 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. schedule with one wake up sometime between 4 and 6. And it was amazing. I was getting so much sleep. I'm like, oh my gosh, people say newborns don't sleep. Like, this is amazing. I'm having the time of my life. My son is not like that. He's like, nope, not gonna happen, Mom. We try to swaddle him. He doesn't love it. He doesn't sleep super well. He's still getting up every 2 to 3 hours to nurse. And sometimes I'll get a 4-hour block in there. But a lot of times it's just the 2 to 3 hours. And then every morning at 4:30, he decides that he's done. He's done sleeping. This shade I feel like is a little patchy. This is the only shade so far that I've tried that I'm having a little bit of difficulty with, but that's okay. Yeah, at 4:30 he decides he's done. He starts grunting, breaking out of his swaddle, moving around his crib, his bassinet in our room. And so I normally have to take him out, and then like that's when I start my day, because then I'm up at 6 with my daughter getting her ready for school. So that's fun. Okay, so I feel like that is the best that Aspiration's gonna get. That is pulling a little patchy on me, but really, that's okay, I'm gonna cover it up. I wanna go in with Serenity right here, and I'm gonna find my BK203 and spray it with some MAC Fix Plus before I apply it. Yeah, but overall, we're doing great. I'm fully healed now. I feel good. I am so blessed. My son is doing great. My daughter loves him. My husband was able to take a little bit of time off to be with us, and you know, now it's just trying to get back into a groove. Like I said, I have to go back to work October 17th. And so I'm like, I just need to get some content filmed. I need to have some stuff before I go back to work, because I remember with my daughter, just like nursing and pumping, like it can take a toll on you. It can be a lot of work if you've ever done it. I'm gonna go back into that Familia shade that I put in the crease on my Sigma pencil brush and just kind of smoke out, what is this here? Smoke out the lower lash line. I didn't really intend on this being such a smoky look, but I knew I wanted to use that Serenity shade because it is so pretty. Okay, I think we're gonna pause on this eye and we're gonna go to the other eye now, and I wanna use some different shades. So I wanna go into Nurture here. Now I feel like there have been so many fun releases coming up. With my daughter, I was just so enthralled in being a first-time mom that I like wasn't even up on what was happening in the beauty world, but I am with it this time, y'all. I've been watching my YouTube. I've been keeping up with stuff. Obviously bought this collection. I love the Natasha Denona formula, and this color story just really speaks to me. So I knew that I wanted to get it. It's just amazing. I love it. I can hear that my son is awake out there, so he's gonna wanna eat soon. Okay, then I'm gonna go with my BK206, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Carpe Diem right here, and I wanna put this all over the lid and blend it into the crease with this fluffy brush. And I wanna take that Gold Invention shade, sorry you can see my mess, and I wanna kind of put that on top. I knew I wanted to play with that shade too. I wanted to play with Serenity and I wanted to play with Invention. Of course I want to play with the duochrome and stuff like that, but I feel like that's kind of been done. Like people have been playing with that shade and the Baby's shade. So I was like, let me do something a little different. I just wiped my BK203 off, and I'm going to do the same thing, spray it and go in with that Invention shade. Okay, I can say that Invention shade is almost more like a topper. It's a little bit more sheer. I'm not really getting any fallout, but I feel like it might be better applied with my finger for sure. Yeah, look at that. But I'm actually glad that I decided to take that Carpe Diem shade and put that down first, because it gave the Invention shade something to cling on to and like a base underneath. Going in with that pencil brush, and I'm going to take the Carpe Diem shade and put that right underneath the lower lash line. Then for my inner corner, I'm doing the same shade, Spontaneous, and I just take it on my pinky, pop it right there. This is not as light as I was expecting it to be. It's more of like a golden shade and not as icy, but it still looks good on the inner corner. And I like that it looks a little bit warmer on this side and a little bit cooler on this side with Serenity. Before we do mascara, I'll just show you the lip application. I picked up the lip liner in the shade Natasha, and super creamy. I've only swatched it, and this is such a pretty shade, such a Kelly shade. Then I'm going to take this beautiful shade Natasha. Super creamy. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. It's creamy and it leaves like a glossy finish. And it's like the perfect Kelly shade. But I look a little crazy because I don't have my mascara on, so I'll be right back. Okay, so here are the finished looks here. Let me try and show you each eye separately. So overall, let me give you a little rundown. The foundation, I can definitely I look at myself now and I can see that I have foundation on, but it kind of took me several layers. I felt like it didn't really do much. It felt pretty light coverage, but I have dry skin. It doesn't feel drying or anything. I mean, I literally just applied it. I took a break to feed my son and now I'm back, but it didn't feel drying or anything. I think the color match was fine. I don't know that it feels smoothing or blurring or anything, but it's not like settling into fine lines or anything like that. I feel like the powder was fine enough. I think I actually might have put powder on with the little flap open. The powder was fine. I don't see anything. Oh, I have an eyelash. Oh, okay. I don't see anything like settling in any weird spaces, so I need to try this out more, but it looks fine to me. If you're into light coverage, if you're into more of like a full coverage, I don't really think that you would be a fan of that. This little contour wand, what people say is true. It's not as deep and dark and scary as it appears when you first put it on, but I think applying it with a stipple brush, then going in with my sponge was a better match. I have used this Sigma powder several times. I like it. I don't really know that it gives me like a soft focus or blurring effect, but when I put it on, I don't have like a flat matte. It gives me more of like a satin finish and it will set my makeup down, so that is nice. The other new products, this eyeshadow palette, I knew that I was gonna like it. I mean, this color story is right up my alley. I have the retro palette. I know a lot of people have compared it to the retro palette. I'm glad that I have both of them. I feel like you kind of have similar vibes, but the shades are so different that I'm glad to have both in my collection. I like the Natasha Denona formula. I'm excited to use this Vision shade. When I look at it here, it looks green. When I look at it in my mirror, it looks purple. It looks purple on the viewfinder. I don't know how to make it look green for you, but I'm excited to dip into that. So I'm definitely excited to play with this more. Right up my alley. And this lip color, this lip combo, it's a Kelly lip combo for sure. Definitely love that. But it was fun playing in some makeup with you all. I hope that you did enjoy this video, a little chit chat update, let you know I had the baby, let you know I'm back. Still planning on doing like one video a week on Wednesdays, working through some pre-filmed content. Every now and then there might be two, but I'm gonna try and start stockpiling and pre-filming again so that I can close that gap between when I go back to work and Thanksgiving and just kind of give myself some time to ease back into teaching. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.